Hi everyone, today we're at the brand new or remodelled short game area here at the Belfry. I'm joined, as you can see, by Danny Willett, 2016 Masters Champion. We're going to be testing some new wedges today, so brand new wedges. What do you think, Dan? Going to be good out here?
It's going to be good. Excited to see what the new ones look like.
Cool. Let's get to it. We're going to go around the green now. We're going to test these. So I've got a couple of different grinds.
Yeah.
We've got a 56 in an S grind there, and we've got a 60 in a C grind. And you use the S grind, you use the C grind just generally. Obviously, you do a little bit of extra tweaking and changing. These are commercial grinds, but we'll give these a go. And you can talk us through a few shots. So we'll keep it nice and easy for you.
Keep it nice and easy.
A little chip and run up the green here. So what are you thinking when you set up to these? What's your thought process?
So again, if you want these to roll out, you don't want excessive speed at the bottom as to where you're going to add loads of spin. For me, if I want the ball to run out, I'll toe it in a fraction. Again, you just change how that leading edge goes. When you hit the turf, it's obviously going to open up a fraction and go straight. But I think a lot of guys, when they try and hit a chip and run, they're probably there with the face too square, and as they come in, they probably open it up and spin it a bit. So but a chip and run I've struggled with in the past, because I actually quite like to hit a lot of mine soft and open face. So when me and Pete do the chip and run stuff, a lot of mine is try and get that shaft a little bit more vertical and kind of get that toe really hugging in. Obviously, balls middle to back of the stance, and then try and just nudge it forward. I'm seeing a spot where I want to land it, and then hope that it's then going to go forward. Yeah,
that's a good point. I mean, how visual are you when you're looking at this? Are you you're looking at a spot to land it on? Are you kind of picturing the shot as you go? Yeah.
So a lot of the time when I was first, with Graham Walker, way back when at England coaching and stuff, we always used to try and pick the first flat spot on a green. Obviously these days, without golf courses have been designed, you can't always find it. But you'd go and you'd look up and you'd go, right, where's 56, 60, you kind of put a box of tees, maybe 2 foot square in that flat area. And for the first thing, I used to have 3 positions. It used to be kind of leading edge, on the numbers, and then a little bit laid back. And if I then were to chip it in that box, I'd obviously get 3 different run out results. So I've done that stuff for years and years and years. And that's just a gauge. It gives you a few things. It gives you a gauge of how your feels are. Can you pitch it in the box? How soft or firm the greens are, how much you're going to run out. And that's kind of like the check of then, go on to the next stage. If you can do that, roughly how far they're going to run out and then go.
Let's see another one there.
So that was obviously pretty, toed in. The other way, if guys want to, obviously, you feel like you can probably draw it a little bit if you really want it running out. I've obviously pitched that a little shorter because there's less loft. That little toe in, and just try and not too much excessive hand movement. You're not trying to spin it.
And how does that feel? How does that wedge feel first up? I mean, it's literally, you've not had to go with these, I just put these straight in your hands.
It's one of my main things is as soon as I hit a wedge on turf, you'll get instant feedback. You'll get the feedback of how the bounce feels back up through the shaft, which is a big thing for us golfers. Sometimes you get one and you hit a couple and you're like, nah, the bounce didn't quite do. And that's like you say, you've got 2 or 3 different grinds. You then go to the next grind. Does that give you the sensation that you want? But no, in terms of, again, it's a pretty simple chip and run here, but in terms of how that club feels through, there's no digging, there's no nothing. The bounce comes back at you, which is, for me, is a nice feeling.
Good. And interesting, you talked about, feedback there. We're obviously just going to go through a few scenarios here, hit a few different shots. How would you normally fit a wedge for yourself? How would you test it? Would you do exactly this? Just go and, different grinds, try a different few scenarios, get the feedback, and literally look at where the ball's gone? Is that how you do it?
So I always find it tricky with a brand new wedge. I tend to spin it a lot anyway. So the first few, I often spin them more than I'd like. So it often takes me a few weeks to actually wear a wedge down as to where it then gets playable. But here in the bunker, obviously, is massive for how the bounce feels. A flop shot here off a normalish lie, how that would feel. You get it in the rough, how does it, kind of go through? And you basically, you're trying to test all them scenarios as accurately as you can. And see, kind of what it is. One of my ones is like, how extreme can I feel that leading edge without actually taking it? I don't want to take a horrible chunky divot.
No.
Sometimes you've got to, but
no, and you haven't taken a divot
I don't really
at all,
like to. So like, you know, if I was to go really extreme here, I mean, that's way back. It's obviously, you know, a good bit of leading edge. You know, can you hit it? And, you know, again, bounced up. That's an extreme golf shot.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's gone in a little bit, but what's happened is it's gone in, but it's because of how the grind is, it's come back out the turf, which is what I'd really like.
So straight there, we've got a little bit of bounce on this. We've got a 12-degree bounce, S grind. Straight away, you feel like that's working pretty well for you.
Yeah, I mean, mine are, my 56 usually, the old one would be an 8.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's one of them where sometimes it, you know, especially for amateurs, the extra bounce, you know, it helps. That's what it's there for.
I'll tell you what, you play those pretty well. Chip this one in, and then we'll move to a different location.
So again, we'll go toe down a little bit.
Nice.
It's had a lovely little second bounce.
Okay, Danny, so we've got another scenario here. We've got some fairly juicy rough, I'd say. Certainly for the UK here, pretty consistent. Yeah. Little kind of 10-yarder, almost a chip and run, but it's, you know, a lot of the guys in Europe right now are finding the rough pretty thick. We've had a wet winter. The sun's out. It's been growing like crazy. Yeah. So this will be a scenario people are familiar with. So how would you play this? What are you thinking? You've still got the 56.
I've still got the 56 for the time being. Here. Again, short game is all lie dependent. Yeah. You get one there sat up, one there like half ball, and then horrible.
That fills me with dread. You just put that down in the bottom of the
You say that.
there.
I would say at times that one comes out more consistent than the middle one for me, because if you play it in a certain way, I feel like you can get reasonably consistent flight. But yes, theoretically it is harder. Yeah. I think that a lot of guys struggle when there's a bit of grain and a bit of snaggy grass with the one that sits up, because you obviously everyone's trying to hit down on it. Yeah. But how easy is that then to kind of get it so high on the face that actually it comes out dead, low, stays short, comes out razzing with spin, whatever it is. So this one for me would be...
So 3 different scenarios here. We've got one sitting up on the turf here. We've got one pretty normally, and one that's kind of buried itself. It's almost spun in its own light type thing. Yeah.
I'll try them all with 56, and then we can obviously change. And
so you've chosen a 56. That was your first choice here, and I've got a 60 in my hands, which maybe we'll use again in the memory. But
so,
what are you thinking?
As I'm looking here, it goes down that first 2 yards, and then looks like it goes back up a little bit, and then obviously around to the right. Yeah. The one thing that I always tell guys that I'm playing with is, like, you want to give yourself a big margin. Yeah. Now, sometimes that is flying it all the way is your biggest margin. Yeah. But you're not going to be able to spin it from here. So actually visualizing pitching a 60 like 4 yards short feels a bit strange for me. So then if I pitched it 4 yards short and I did get the one that spun, it'll stay 3 yards short. Yeah. Whereas if I go 56, I feel like if it comes out a bit dead, might hit that down slope and go. Yeah. If it comes out nice, it'll pitch kind of near where that old hole is, and then should kind of just pop up and go down there. So again, in theory, I'll have a...
So what start with? Start with the one on top,
Yeah, I'll move this and then we'll come back to, I'll bury it after.
Because this is sitting up on top of the turf.
Sitting up on top of this. So again, one of the main things that I see a lot of guys doing is, you know, again, they'll try and add loft and try and spin it. Yeah. Actually, out of this light time, it's often easy to feel like a little draw. Yeah. Square face, you're almost trying to kind of come into it and then like lift it with you.
Yeah, so you don't want to get steep on this. That's why you're thinking
getting steep on this, I feel like it just brings in high toe, comes out a bit dead. It's very hard to judge. So I'd almost go in there. I'm not forward, but it's like somewhere middle-ish, used to be like the numbers chip. And I'd almost try and just hit like a little draw. Nice. And it's obviously come out about a yard short of where I was looking at that hole. Yeah. So it's a yard short. Okay. But I just feel like with this, it's just given me, you know, it's gone to 4 feet. Not bad. If lob wedge pitched there, I feel like it'd peck. Yeah. And I could have a 12-footer from probably quite a nice shot.
So this is playing the percentages.
So just trying to play the percentages of what it is. Yeah.
So this is more of a normal lie? Yeah,
more of you know, obviously without, you know, you can't obviously get right in there, but you kind of get in a sense of where the base of the ground is. Yeah. And how high that ball sat up on top of it. So there for me, you've got enough room there to get underneath. But this will obviously need a little bit of loft and a little bit more speed.
Yeah.
But the same thing, 56, I feel like, again, comes out a bit dead. It might run out. If it comes out nice, it'll fly a bit further, pop a bit more. So it should go all right. But, so then this for me would be ball position's quite forward, and I'd almost feel like that shaft, I start with that shaft kind of in the middle of the belt to back.
Yeah.
I don't want it starting here.
Yeah, there's no shaft lean there at all.
No shaft lean. Again, obviously, because I've got a strong left-hand grip, I'll almost try and match it with the right. As to where I'm kind of making sure I keep that right hand on top.
So face is quite open here as well.
Face is quite open. And then again, from there, chop across it. Pitched again, similar-ish near that thing. Little check and runs out.
Nice.
But again, if that was lob wedge, same thing. I feel like I feel like that's really hard to get yourself to fly it much further into the green than that.
Yeah, yeah.
If you actually look at that, you go, well, you could use 52.
So you're thinking use as much of the green as possible here.
Because this first bit gives you that little bit that'll go forward.
Let's bury one down then.
Oh, wow, yeah, cheers. I mean, you're not putting it in all. Right, we'll get a bad...
you did those pretty close, so...
We'll get a bad one.
Okay, so this looks like it's sitting down to me, almost, you kind of walk up to go, is that plugged?
Yeah.
It's not, it's just
like one
in the
bounce over
grass.
the back of the green with the wedge and it's just kind of gone down. Yeah. This one, you might have to look at lob wedge. I'm sitting that down and that is really hard to get right in there.
Yeah.
But the one thing I would try and I'll try it with 56 first.
Yeah.
The one thing I would try and do there is there's obviously less bounce in the heel, less bounce in the toe.
Okay.
So a lot of the time from these shots, I'll go heel down. So shaft low, heel down. And I'd be a little steep on the way back and I'm literally trying to almost leave that heel in the grass.
Okay.
And let the fact that you've got not as much bounce there get under the ball, face should open a little bit and then pop it out.
Yeah, so the action of the grass going to the grass is going to help open the face a little bit for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, heel down. Try and get them hands nice and low and just try and pop it.
Lovely.
And then, so then you see what I was talking about earlier. It's come out a little bit dead.
Yeah.
But because it's a 56 and it's on that down slope, that then helps.
Yeah. One thing I noticed that you had a lot of weight on your I could see you moving into that left side.
You're really almost trying to really plant yourself in this left leg.
Yeah.
And literally try and just pop it down almost just to where you finish should be really low and still in the, you don't want backing up out of it. You don't want to be moving off it.
Okay, so we'll give this go with a 60 then and just see, I mean, first thoughts again, time you've seen this one.
Nice. You can always, you can see the bounce in the middle there, nice.
Yeah.
Potentially for me, if again, without using it, I don't know, but it looks really good. The only thing I'd ever do is kind of take a little bit off heel and toe, but it actually looks like there's already some off there. So no, that looks really good.
Cool.
Again, especially for the kind of shots around the greens.
Yeah, this is similar to a wedge that you already use. I mean, it's, C grind, 60 degrees.
Yeah. So again, same thing from the really bad one. You'd go heel down. You might not necessarily need it as open, obviously, because there's a lot of loft on it anyway. Yeah. But definitely the heel down for me, loads of weight left, nice low hands, heel down, and you're really just trying to almost leave that heel in the floor and let everything else do its job. So same thing, I'm down. I'm heeling down here. A lot of weight on the left. And just pop it forward. Again, that was a bad lie, but comes out all right. But this is what I was talking about with 60 and 56. I think I've almost got a little bit more leeway with a 56. Unless...
Yeah, I mean, that popped on you a little bit, didn't it?
It popped a little bit, yeah, and that's why I think at times for me, especially the lower loft stuff, I get a bit more consistency in terms of results. Yeah. That's obviously done well because it's pitched on the downslope, but like I was saying, the visual here to pitch this quite deep into the green, that's going to require quite a lot of speed, and then what happens if it comes out a bit quick and fiery? It's gone. So
you're all about playing the percentages. You're thinking about how do you get it in that side, that kind of, kind of 6-10 foot range where you've got a kind of better than 50% make percentage. That's kind of what you're thinking, is it?
It's more just seeing, what's going to help you. This game's hard. So actually, what's going to help you there? Well, if it comes out dead, that little downslope's going to help it go to the flag. Yeah. Because if it's coming out dead, it's not got loads of pace anyway, so you need that bit of extra, shoot. If it comes out good, it might peck in the upslope. So just seeing. I know, like you say, guys, they see a bad lie, they go, all right, lob wedge. Yeah. But it takes a lot of skill to then hit a lob wedge as hard as you usually need to hit it to actually get the result. Yeah.
So it's interesting, using the loft, using the grind to give you the best chance. So, I mean, is that something you see with amateurs when you play with them, pro-ams back home? No. Are they giving themselves the best chance all the time, or are they trying to play the hero shot?
No, again, a lot of them will pull out lob wedge, but then I'll see them they all seem really scared about setting the bounce on it, setting the loft back, because they feel like they're going to thin it 100 yards.
Yeah.
So again, I'll see them and they'll all be like this, and it's like, well, you've just got no chance.
Yeah.
So just a couple of, like I said, there's a couple of shots just to work on, and I think for me, like I'd call it like a heel and cut or a heel and slide, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Gives you such a good. You've got to obviously, you know, you're setting it up on the hosel, which everyone hates. Yeah. But as it comes into the grass, that hosel's going away from the ball, and it's going to give you extra bounce and extra loft. So again, if I wanted to fly that deeper into the green, I just need a little bit more speed. That first one's come out a bit dead. We'll go heel down. I'll try and play this one a little bit more square-faced to try and get it coming out not as extremely kind of dead. See if we can get it going forward.
Very nice.
Oh, a little in off.
Little nudge.
But again, so you can see there, I've actually hit that slightly out the toe.
Yeah.
Which is, people would find crazy when I'm setting it up so much on the heel.
Yeah.
But it's because as I'm coming in, I'm obviously trying to get that, this is trying to come to me.
Yeah.
So I'm actually, you know, almost pulling the toe towards it with the loft under it. Almost like, it'd almost feel like a kind of, like a heel cut would be the sensation.
Yeah. It's amazing how much you're using, not only the club and the loft and the grinds to do the work, but also the grass as well. Thinking about how the club's going to interact with the turf and the grass. So, excellent, Danny. Well, played those pretty well. Shall we move on to the bunker? You were saying earlier how important bunkers were. So let's give that one a go. Okay, so we've moved on to the bunker here. You were talking earlier about how important bunkers were. We're going to get you to play to the black pin over there.
Yeah.
12, 15-yard bunker shot.
Yeah.
You've got a 56, chosen a 56.
Yeah.
Straight, we've got the same S grind.
Yeah, same
12
bounce.
degree. Talk us through this one. Talk us about what you're thinking.
So again, I'll do what I would usually do.
Yeah.
When I'm hitting a practice, I know obviously we're on a practice. You can't
Fine.
You can't do this on a golf
course. We're on the
course,
practice area. You just work through it as you would normally.
So yeah, like kind of if I'm warming up the practice stuff, I'm trying to get some feedback here on where I want it, the sand, and where the lines would be.
Okay.
So that'd be a general station that I'd do for the first 5, 6 shots every time.
So you're drawing a square line here.
Square tee to the flag, so you know your square. £50 note, whatever it is, size. And then I've drawn a line here which is slightly back, which would be shaft angle. Yeah. Again, I'm looking as a visual from where I would see it. And then what I would do at first, I'd extend this line, is my feeling would be I'd almost do a few like right-handers. I'm trying to really get the feel of staying down, staying in it.
Yeah.
That's your strike line. That's where you want to try and hit. You know, if you really want to, you get left-handers. Again, left for me would be more loft and bounce.
Yeah.
Right would be more how far you're going to hit it.
Okay.
Would be the matchup. And then, you know, just a couple where you're just getting the feel of how the club would go into the sand and what it'd feel like, trying to get that noise.
Got your lines.
Got the line. So again, for me, that's what I try and teach guys all the time. You can see here, these are all really similar. Strikes have all been pretty close. And my main thing when I get amateurs in bunkers, again, they're here, they've got no bounce, no loft on it.
Yeah.
And all it's going to do is it's going to dig in, you're going to get a long, horrible divot.
Yeah.
So again,
that's the enemy of you there straight away. It's like getting the club actually digging into the sand.
Yeah.
That's like.
But again, that's what the bounce. Yeah. That's why there's bounce on a club.
Yeah.
Because the whole point is that as I do this, I've probably taken that to like 2 degrees of bounce.
Yeah.
So it's not going to come back at me.
So it's interesting there. You're leaning the shaft. The more you lean the shaft forward,
the less bounce you've
got. The more it's going to dig in.
Yeah. Which again, some shots.
Yeah.
Not necessarily bunkers, but some shots you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
But out of a bunker, you want that to go in and come back out at you.
Yeah.
You know, so again, all you're trying to do is you're trying to get where that is, and then I'd set up there. Left foot will be near enough on it, maybe just a little in front. And again, same thing as what we were doing. I feel like I'm like hip, knee, toe are over this left foot.
Yeah.
So I'm stable on this left side.
So you've got a lot of weight on the left side.
And I'm basically going to try and keep the weight on that left side all the way through. Yeah. I don't want to be rocking back or moving off it. No.
Never going to try and scoop it.
No. So all I'm trying to do here, again, I've got that line from here kind of matching up. It's usually belt buckle-ish. Yeah. Again,
it's very little shaft
forward.
Yeah.
Don't want it miles back. Belt buckle-ish. And then from here, I'm just trying to get the same feel, same noise as what I had from the practice ones.
Yeah. So this is something anyone can go and do, you know, practice, find a practice bunker. If you're a member of a club, you can get on the course in the evening, spend a bit of time doing this.
I'm sure the greenkeeper might be there. But no, and again, it's like, I've done it for years.
Yeah.
Always set up a station, the first couple. Set up a station, right, where am I going? Right, that's straight. Right, where's my strike line? Where's my shaft line? This is a little bit for path.
Okay.
And then again.
The great thing about this is you can just draw it in the sand.
Draw it in the sand. And the only issue you've got is because I get used to when I'm practicing, my club will be on the, I'll always lay it down.
Yeah.
Because actually when you get in tournament to not actually lay your club on the, is the trickiest one.
Yeah.
So again, same thing. You can go ahead and hit one straight away.
Yeah.
Or you get in, same thing. You go, and tell you what, I'm going to try and, I'll try and go a little bit more loft on this one, you know, so you'll need a little bit more speed. But again, I'm trying to get that noise where you can hear when the bounce really hits the sand.
Yeah.
And that's what people, you know, you can't be afraid of. So I'm going to go quite extreme here with the face.
Yeah, that's pretty open.
That's pretty open. But again, so I'm going to have to hit this harder. I'm going to have to stay more in the left.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm hitting this hard. I don't want to hit it hard and come up.
Yeah.
So loads of weight in the left. That face is wide open.
Lovely.
You know, I wouldn't like it in that shot.
Yeah.
But say if this bunker lip was
super high,
another, and again, 56.
Yeah.
Because when you put the more bounce on it, if you open the face, you get more bounce, helps you. And then again, if you misstruck a 56, you might get the one that then runs out.
Yeah, so bounce is your friend in this bunker.
In the bunker,
so
you want as much bounce on it as possible.
Yeah, so you're opening the face.
Yep.
You might think that's counterproductive, it's not going to come out as far as I'd like, but you actually get more bounce, the club's interacting with the sand better as a result.
You get a more consistent flight and spin.
Yeah, and obviously first time with that wedge, feeling good?
Again, good. More bounce than mine, which I can tell, which actually, this sand here is quite soft. So it might be one of them where you get to a tournament and the sand is like this, and you go, I tell you what, lads, I need 3 or 4 more degrees bounce here. Because again, when you get heavy sand, it's the club don't want to come out of it, it wants to stay in it. Yeah,
so you've got 12 degrees of bounce here, so quite a lot of bounce, really going to help you. Use an 8 normally.
Yeah.
But like I said, sand is super soft.
But again, same thing as before though. I've got 12 degrees on there, but say that was sat down a little bit.
Yeah.
I can go that heel one again, and because there's then less bounce in the heel, I can do exactly the same as what we did over there with the dodgy-ish lie. I can get that heel in, and actually from that ball being like half down, you can actually get it. Actually still controlling the spin.
Yeah, and it's spun, didn't it?
Because you've gone heel down, you've got less bounce. It's going to go into the sand, open up, and obviously hit the spinner.
So hit a couple with a lob wedge. You want to give that a bit of rate. So you were saying you wouldn't use a lob wedge from here generally.
Not necessarily to this
unless
flag.
You really needed to.
Yeah, I do a lot of my practice with less loft than I would use than is necessary. Just because I think it helps feel. I think it means that you've got to play it better.
Yeah.
And again, lob wedges really are to it a really consistent ball flight. Like I said, because I like to have mine open, I've all of a sudden got, I don't know, 66, 68 degrees of loft on it here.
Yeah.
Well, to then hit that 20 yards is it's almost a full swing.
Yeah, because a lot of golfers would come here, amateurs, guys watching this, would come in here and think, well, I've got to get out of the bunker.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of lip here. There could be a bit of lip, but they might be going, right, lob wedge straight away.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the case.
No,
you know.
Same thing as over there. Just give yourself some variables.
Yeah.
You want to see loft. You want to present bounce so that you can use it.
Yeah.
But then most of the time, guys then get the lob wedge and then they'll hit it here.
Yeah.
Because they're so scared of it. They're so trying to hit it so hard that they'll end up turning the loft down on it and hitting the one that they get about here, and you know it flubs in front of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of them.
So what are you guarding against here? So we've got more loft, less bounce.
Yeah. What
are you guarding against as a result of that? You're kind of thinking.
It's more just a gauge of how far I could physically hit it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can hit. You know, I'll often work, right, I'll try and just get out the bunker. Yeah. And then I'll go another yard and I'll basically work along as to where I get to a stage where I'm like, I'm hitting that really hard there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one where you're like, I could hit this in car park if I catch it.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's hit one to that back pin and then we'll play a more lob wedgy type shot to this front pin. So
you want which?
Yeah, so to the black pin that we've just been hitting to.
So same one. Yeah. So, you know, this for me, unless I have to fly it this far, I won't hit lob wedge. But again, the visuals here, I'll try and, you know, almost try and draw a line where that second flag is, like, you know, 10 feet short. And you're really trying to throw this all the way back there. Same thing. really down on that left side. Clubs there got loads of loft. I'm gonna have to hit this quite hard, but
yeah. Nice.
Which is, again, it's a lovely golf shot.
Yeah.
But I think there's so many more variables in that than the 56.
Yeah. And again, like we were talking earlier, you're trying to guard against that. You want the best outcome
want it to be
most
as easy
often.
as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Why make the game harder? So this short one here. So you know, again, people will find this difficult as well because the pin's so close to us.
Yeah.
They'll be worrying about this, worrying about it running on. Might get too cute. Lose speed and drop it in here. So how would you play this one? What are you thinking about?
Again, visually, this one is a bit strange because it kind of sits at you for the first 2 yards and then sits away. So you've really got to make your mind up whether or not you're going to go in that bank or on top.
Yeah.
So we'll try and go on top with loft.
Yeah. And
then we'll try and play one if we wanted to kind of run it out, or we'll chuck a couple in bad lie and then see what happens. But yeah, again, same thing. You're kind of looking where you want to pitch it, which there's a little dark patch. So I'll be in there. So then I'll be obviously trying to set the face. We'll be slightly right of that with how it feels. But again, really, really down in and on that left side. And really use that I'm hitting against that left leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a little bit too much sand there.
Hit that up slope.
Yeah.
So would you play this with a lob wedge? I know we're close.
I'd be tempted to 50-60.
Yeah, okay.
Unless I had an incredibly, say you had an incredibly clean lie.
Yeah.
Or there was something else there. Yeah. As to where, you can go so extreme in that face that you can really get that.
Nice.
Up and over.
You could hear that. You really thump the sound.
But I mean, there must be 80 degrees of loft on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do
you want to try? Let's
we'll try.
It over to the sand wedge. Because this isn't an obvious choice for people. It's a short shot, but you would say, and you'd probably go to a sand wedge here.
Yeah, it'd be one of them where, because the face is I'm still probably going to have 60, 62 degrees of loft on it by the time I set it in. I'd always go fraction more heel, fraction more down in the hands.
Yeah. Just
gives you that little bit more control of what it's going to do. So I'd go a little bit down the shaft, down with the hands.
Lovely. It's a safer shot.
It's safer.
Yeah.
Again, this is for guys at home. If you're going to do it, I just think that it's
always going to come out the bunker there.
Always going to get out the bunker.
Yeah.
You've got plenty of bounce, which is what you're trying to use.
Yeah.
The only other one to this flag, I guess, would be if we had a little.
Oh.
I am actually going to go.
Now you want the lob wedge back, yeah. So plug light.
That is marvellously extreme, isn't it?
Yeah.
So again, same here. This for me would be, I want the face open because I want loft. I know some guys in the past have gone close and whatever.
Yeah, to make sure you get it out.
To make sure you get it out. I want this heel down. I want the loft on it. So I'm going to come in here, extremely steep, trying to really get that heel in and under that ball.
Okay.
To try and pop. And we know that it's going to run on. But the main thing here is to try and make sure it gets out.
It gets out, okay. You play with a lot of speed as well?
Yeah, lots of speed, again, because I've got loads of loft here. And I'm just going to try.
Wow.
And that's what I mean. I mean, you can see the size difference in the divot.
Yeah.
Because I've got less bounce in the heel, I've gone so much more into the sand. Yeah. Whereas when we were playing the other one, I've got loads of bounce on it, but I'm not going silly into the sand because of how much bounce. Yeah. So you can nip it off it a bit more.
It's interesting. You've played every shot we've played so far, pretty much where you're in a scenario where you need to use the bounce. You've actually opened the face and created even more bounce. It's quite interesting how much I've noticed how much your face is open, and you see everyone playing at home with they open the face a bit, but nothing like you're opening here, and you're trying to create the bounce. It's interesting. Yeah. How much you're doing it.
So me and Pete, when we're practicing, we'll actually practice straight face shots. Yeah. And that's purely just to get your technique better. Right. Okay. Because it's hard. Yeah. Because you need to, if you're setting up with straight face, you need to obviously be returning that same loft, that same bounce. So we often practice straight faced where we're actually trying to get more bounce in the downswing. Yeah. So we don't get any forward, any drag as to where you dig in.
Yeah. Interesting.
So yes, if me and Pete were in there and you wanted to try a couple, you'd be right down it, but you'd be straight faced. And all you're trying to do is then you're really trying to control low point. So which is, I hate the shot, but Pete makes me play it because it makes you better. But again, that one scares me But he says, why don't you use it on the golf course? I'm like, well, because I feel like
Yeah,
I'm going to hit
it's going to go a
miles
long way. Interesting that you're trying to make your practice harder to make the game easier when you're on a golf course.
Yeah, I
Pretty
mean,
good
because it's really hard to, it's really hard to practice every scenario.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to make it as to where you go in the bunker and you feel, right, for any, right, I can get it out.
Yeah.
Step one.
Yeah.
And then you go, right, oh, hold on, if I change clubs, all right,
Yeah.
this will do this, this will do this.
Yeah.
And just work through the bag.
Brilliant. Okay, so bunker's done. Wedge feeling good. I want to do one more scenario, and that's to go and do a shot that a lot of amateurs get worried about, and that's a flop shot over the bunker. So we've got a bit of a hazard in the way.
Yeah.
We'll go over there. We'll go to the short pin, and you can talk through what you're thinking on that one. Okay, Danny, so we talked about the shot that might fill the amateur with dread a minute ago. Big bunker here.
Yeah.
Probably everything, you know, people are just going to look at that and go, short-sided pin.
Yeah, I mean, that's extremely short-sided.
Yeah, we'll go to this one on the left. Give yourself a little bit of a
We'll
chance.
do a bit of both. And
yeah, so tricky shot. We're in the rough.
Yeah.
We're all faced with this one. What are you thinking? What are your first thoughts when you get here to a shot like this?
Again, massively lie dependent.
Yeah.
Regardless of what, everyone gets scared of the shot before they actually look down, and some lies will help you, some lies will be really tough.
Yeah.
And again, that for me would then go back to club choice.
Okay.
Depending on the lie, how far you want to hit it, club choice.
Yeah.
For most amateurs here, the main mistake that they do is they think they've got to hit it 100 yards up in air.
Yeah.
So they can somewhere stop it. The problem is they do that, they open the face.
Yeah.
They undercut it, and it goes short in the bunker, and then we all know what happens from there.
Yeah.
So again, my thing would be, see what your lie's like. You know, we'll go medium, half ball down.
Yeah, that's sitting okay.
Yeah, and if we go to the left one there, you see, I'll play a normal one first, as to where, like, I would much prefer see guys doing this.
Yeah.
You're out of position, get it on the green, 2-putt, carry on.
Yeah, so we've got maybe like 15, 20 yards, 5 yards of green to work with, 20-yard shot. Yeah.
So mine would be for the guys, you open it a little bit, you sit it back before you do anything. So don't get in there and grip it and then try and get your face. Unlike the bunker, you can actually obviously ground this while you're playing. So that I would sit there and I'd be like, right, where's the flag? There's my loft. Yeah. And then I would then try and sit around that.
Yeah, okay.
You know, so instead of getting in, I see guys and then they're like doing this. I'd sit it down, a little bit of bounce on it, a little bit of loft on it, work around it again. Similar to the bunker. Yeah. I'm then in that left side. Now, what I'd like to see a lot of amateurs do from here is literally just hit like a normal, that's a normal pitch.
Yeah.
I've not done anything stupid. No. This is 56 again, because I want to go in, I don't want to bring in the short.
No. And you're giving yourself a chance there straight away.
Yeah.
Took the bunker out of play, you got a putt that you might make.
You might, and again, this is not for, you know, us lot would try and do a little bit more to it, but as a general, like, get out of a bunker, get it over the bunker, job one. If I was then obviously going to go a bit more extreme for us lot, that would then be more, again, a little more open, a little more loft laid back.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing. In and around and up. I've caught a bit too much ball, but because of that, it stops pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty safe. And again, you're using a 56 here.
Yeah.
Would that be a go-to generally? Again, lie dependent, you were saying?
No, I mean, again.
You've got 60 here.
If I'm not trying to do anything silly, you know, that lie's not great. Yeah, you would do. But again, it's not that I'm here and then doing this. I'll sit it back. Because you got lob wedge, obviously you've got more loft on this now, but same scenario. More loft, still bounce, that ball's still at the front, I'm still in the left. I'm going to stay on that left side. Yeah. And again, because it's lob wedge, I've just got to hit it a bit harder. And again, does what it does. Nice.
You're not going at that though. You're not like the speed isn't there.
No, I mean, we can. And again, English class is weird, isn't it? Yeah, like so, that kind of lie. Yeah. You need speed then. You know, because you can't spin it. You know, the ball comes onto a green with, you know, height, spin. Yeah. And if I can't spin it, I need more height.
Yeah. So this is nestled down a little bit more.
Nestled down a bit. So again, this one, I would then open this up a little bit more. Yeah. Because I really need to use the height now to bring it down. So all I'd do is I'd spin that shaft open a little bit more. Yeah. Similar kind of thing. If you wanted to, you'd probably go again, a little bit heel down, a little bit down in it. Yeah. So that you get that angle of attack and you get it popping up. But then This will have to be hit pretty hard.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Comes out. But again, there's so many variables, isn't there, because of how it is.
Yeah.
It may even be that if you had that Nestle lie, and I tried it with 56.
Yep.
Same thing. I'm still putting loads of loft on it and stuff.
Yeah.
But it might just give you a little bit more of a buffer. So I'll do the same thing. Heels down, hands are low.
Yeah, it's much
But
safer.
you can hear the difference in the bounce. So it's still landed soft because I've still got the elevation on it.
Yeah.
But all I'm listening for, because of how much more bounce there is on the 56,
yeah,
I feel like it gives me more playability that side.
So what I've seen as we've gone through these different scenarios is bounce is your friend.
Yep.
The more loft you use, you're adding more variables. You've got to be more skilled.
Yeah.
So loft's your friend. If you're getting into a bit of a tough spot, you want to play the heel down.
Yep.
And it's simple as that, really. You're not trying to overcomplicate anything. You've got a few principles that you work to.
Yeah, I mean, we could always...
This looks tough now.
Yeah, I mean, we could try. We can try a couple of silly ones and just... Again, this is where you're like, right, well, I've got
so this is a horror story for everyone.
So that is
probably
now...
pros included.
Yeah, everyone.
So you're on a down slope,
yeah,
bunker there, short-sided.
Yeah.
Might be water the other side.
All right, just a few more in. So yeah, this is then... You've obviously got to go with the slope. The problem going with the slope is that you're taking the loft and the bounce off, which is what you need.
Yeah.
So the strange one with this is where people end up setting up.
Yeah.
So I'll try and get nice and wide so I've got a really stable base. Again, loads of pressure on this left side. And I actually want this shaft pretty vertical.
Yeah.
Vertical up and down.
So you've got it more up.
More up, right. more up.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to try and do there then.
So what does that do when you put the shaft more up?
It's more the fact that as you go back here, the more angle you got in the shaft, the more it wants to go this way in transition. Obviously, the more upright it is, the more it wants to come back under itself.
It's going to come up and down.
So all I'm trying,
like a pendulum, yeah.
Yeah, all I'm going to try and do there is I'd get in it. I'd obviously open it with the toe, so the toe's down on the floor. So now instead of me using the heel down, this would be more the feeling of like toe down.
Okay.
And then because of that, you're going to have to hit this one quite hard. But I'm going to try and really get that angle of attack as to where this really comes in nice and steep this side, and really stay low in that left side to make sure that your angle of attack.
Very nice.
You know, yeah, if you're there, you're basically like, right.
Yeah, get it on.
Get it out, get it over.
Two-putt and get off.
And carry on.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, Danny. Well, thank you for that. It's been fascinating watch you hit all these different shots, different scenarios. The principles are pretty much the same as you go through. So, you know, what it told me was bounce is important.
Yep.
Loft choice is important. So speak to your local PGA pro. It's very complex when you get wedges. We've got obviously new Opus wedges.
It helps.
There's a lot of lofts, a lot of bounces, a lot of grinds. Some of it's down to your course turf conditions. You might play on a soft course on clay, or you might play on a links course or so on. You might need different bounces for the amount of golf you're going to play on those courses. But they're really important. Speak to local PGA pro. You said you got a session with our tour team tomorrow to look at bounds and grises on this new wedge.
Again, because you know,
do the same thing.
You're trying to make the game easier. Hard game. Try and make it easier. Get fitted properly. And hopefully it'll make you play better.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
New short game here. I know you had a hand in designing it.
No, it's
Looks
good,
absolutely superb. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment below and we'll see you all next time.